Happy Monday, ladies! Of course, my Monday didn't go so good. When does Monday ever go good? For real. But, so thankfully, it is almost over. The topic of my video tonight is going to be about having a disability, of course, and that is Turner syndrome. But the thing about it is that the only part of Turner syndrome that I have is short stature. Of course, I do have a learning disability, which doesn't help. But a lot of people in this world, I feel like, have a disability and they have a learning disability. If they don't have like a regular disability, they at least have a learning disability. A lot of people. Not everybody, not a lot. Well, maybe I even shouldn't say a lot. But anyways, okay, let's go past that. So I have a learning disability and I'm disabled both. Okay. So back in August, it was like August 25th to be exact. And for those of you who don't know me and don't know what I've been going through since like August 25th or so, I want to share it with you. So this video is going to be about that and how it affects my disability and whatnot. Okay, so back in August 25th, I went to an agency, and I won't say the agency's name, but I went to an agency and I wanted to be a single foster mom. And I heard that you could be a single foster mom. So I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. I think I can do that. I've had a lot of babysitting experience. And I know babysitting is a lot different than being a parent. So, I went to this agency and they had an orientation on August 25th or so. Might have been August 23rd, but anyways, went to this orientation and the woman spoke all about being a foster parent or parents and what to expect when you're a foster parent. And then based on that, then you would make the decision if you want to be a foster parent after what she said, some of the things that go on and what to expect as a foster parent. Anyways, so she says, you can apply to be a foster parent, but if you're denied, then you have to wait 5 years before you can reapply. And I says, well, a long time ago, I did apply to be a foster parent, and I was denied. And I was denied based on my credit. Like, they ran a credit check and said that I had some stuff in collections. And she says, oh, this agency, we don't run a credit check. We don't check your credit. So I said, oh, okay. I said, well, also, I'm on disability. So I have that income coming in. And you say that we get paid to be a foster parent, so that would be money coming in for that too. Oh, don't worry. You can be on disability and be a foster parent too. I said, okay, cool. I want in. So I applied. That was in August. Here we are, April 1st. And today, I was supposed to have a phone call to say whether or not I can be a foster parent. So I've gone through this whole process from August till now. Paperwork galore. My doctor had to fill out a paper. My manager at my work had to fill out a paper. My emergency babysitter had to fill out a paper because I had to have an emergency babysitter before I was ever approved to be a foster parent. And then I also had to have a regular babysitter fill out paperwork, and so she had to have a background check done. Both babysitters had to have a background check done. Let's see. Oh, I had 3 references, and I had a licensing specialist. Still have a licensing specialist because I'm still in the process. It's just I never got the phone call today. So my licensing specialist has been to my house 3 times. And the second time was back in like November. No, it had to have been like October. And she was like, oh, I'm all set to approve you. I'm going to have you licensed to be a foster parent by December, by Christmas. Well, then she went and got married, so that kind of put a damper on that, I think. So, then now my licensing specialist is on vacation. I did not know this. So, my licensing specialist, the last time I spoke to her before she went on vacation, she says, well, the fingerprints came back. Yes, I had fingerprints done back in September. And she's saying in March that the results just came back. She says, well, your fingerprints came back, and the results show that you applied to be a foster parent way back in 2007. I said, well, actually, I think it was before 2007, but either way, it was a long time ago, and it was beyond the 5 years. Remember, in the orientation, she said, you know, if you were denied, you have to wait 5 years. So, beyond the 5 years, 2007 to like 2019. Oh, okay. Notification. Anyways, so she says, your fingerprints came back. It says you applied to be a foster parent way back in 2007, and it says that you were denied. But she says, I can't get any more details than that. So can you explain to me why you were denied? And I says, well, I said, because they ran a credit check, and they said that it looks like I can't budget my money based on that credit check. I said, that's the only reason that they gave me. She says, okay. She says, but have you heard of Dr. So-and-so? I said, no. And what does that even matter? Like, if I went and saw a doctor. So then I feel like it goes back to being disabled and having Turner syndrome, to kind of get the point across here and to kind of wrap things up. I think that it's all about my disability. It's all about Turner syndrome. Because the few times that my licensing specialist has come to my house, she asked me 3 times what my disability was. And 3 times I verbally told her, answered her right then and there when she asked me verbally what my disability was. All 3 times I said, I have Turner syndrome. I have Turner syndrome. And to my knowledge, she never looked up Turner syndrome. She never looked it up to knowledge herself, so that she knows what it is. But I did let her know about it, you know, kind of a little bit anyways. Not textbook or, you know, fact to fact. But I just, you know, I told her a little bit of what I know about Turner syndrome and what I thought she needed to know. But of course, if she wants to know more, she should look it up. And I thought that she would. I honestly thought that she would. So anyways, finally, I said, you keep asking me what my disability is. So I don't understand. Do you have reservations about me being a foster parent? And that's why you keep asking me about my disability? She said, no, it's just never wrote down. Nobody's ever wrote it down that you have Turner syndrome and what your disability is. I said, oh. I said, okay, well, what about my doctor's form? What about that form that my doctor filled out? Didn't it say something on there about, does she have an illness? Does she have a disability? Anything like that? And she says, no, actually it does not. Oh. Okay. And and the woman says, well, the licensing specialist, she says, well, I have to now give your paperwork to my supervisor because of this issue about how you have already applied and been denied. So now I have to give your paperwork to my supervisor. And then my supervisor has to give it to this other woman. And then the other woman has the last say. And she will approve you to be a foster parent. So it no longer is in the hands of my licensing specialist anymore. She was all set to approve me, remember, and said, oh, I'll have you licensed by Christmas. So it's no longer up to her now. So I was waiting to hear from the phone call from my licensing specialist supervisor because last I knew, she had my paperwork. I didn't know if she had took it to this other woman yet or not. Well, I had to leave a message, of course, for the licensing supervisor, the licensing specialist supervisor. I had to leave her a message and say, did you get my paperwork yet? Has the licensing specialist given it to you yet? And, what's going on with this? So I haven't heard back from her. Well, then I called the lady that did the orientation, and I was just like, hey, what do I do? Because I can't get a hold of my licensing specialist, and I can't get a hold of her supervisor, and I just wondered what was going on with the case, or whatever you call it. So she called the supervisor, and she says, I actually talked to her, and she says she will call you Monday, because the reason why she hasn't called you back yet is because she's waiting on Lansing. So to me that says, well, the agency must have approved me to be a foster parent, and then they sent my paperwork to Lansing, because long story short, the licensing specialist said a while back that she will and would approve me, but just because she approves me, she still has to send my paperwork to Lansing. So I'm guessing that's what happened. So to wrap this video up, I'm so sorry it's a little bit long, but it's a long story. I wanted to make sure that you understood it word for word. And you probably still don't, because I kind of rambled on or whatever. But anyways, hopefully you get it. And I'm sitting here, like that woman was supposed to call me today. The licensing specialist supervisor was supposed to call me today. And I feel like she should have called me either way. She should have been like, she should have called me and been like, okay, this is what's going on. I have not heard from Lansing yet, but I thought I would have by now. But I will let you know when I do hear from Lansing. And she didn't let me know either way. So I just feel like it's because of my disability. That they're not treating me fairly. They're not treating me like other people, because normal 41-year-olds that don't have a disability, that are trying to be a foster parent, I think that they would have been updated all along the way, 5 months, 6 months, they would have had little updates here and there. And I always have to email people and call people and leave messages for people. And so yeah, the struggle is real, people. So happy Monday, and let's have a better Tuesday. Good night, ladies.